In the world of jewels, few treasures have inspired awe, greed, and fear like the Hope Diamond. A gem so deep, so vividly blue, that it seems to hold the night sky within its facets. But this diamond is more than a marvel of nature. It is a jewel wrapped in a centuries-old legend, whispered through time, leaving a trail of misfortune in the lives of those who dared to possess it. From the palaces of kings to the hands of private collectors, the Hope Diamond has traveled across continents, leaving mystery, intrigue, and sometimes tragedy in its wake. And while some dismiss its so-called curse as superstition, the stories are as persistent and dazzling as the gem itself. The story of the Hope Diamond begins in the 17th century, in the Golconda mines of India. Known as the Tavernier Blue, it was first recorded by the French gem merchant Jean-Baptiste Tavernier. He described a massive blue diamond, over 100 carats, carved from the depths of India's storied mines. Legend claims that the diamond was originally stolen from a statue of the Hindu goddess Sita, an act that supposedly cursed it from the very beginning. Tavernier transported the gem to France, where it would eventually become part of the crown jewels under King Louis XIV. It was in the hands of royalty that the diamond's history took a dark turn. Louis XIV named it the Blue Diamond of the Crown, and had it recut into the French blue, a smaller but more perfect stone. Rumors say that many who handled it experienced misfortune, financial ruin, betrayal, and death, though documentation from the time is limited and often contradictory. By the late 18th century, the French Revolution had erupted, and the royal family faced a dangerous fate. During the chaos, the French blue was stolen from the crown jewels in 1792. Some accounts suggest it was taken by thieves, while others hint at complicity among insiders. During this period, the diamond disappeared for decades, only to resurface later in London as the Hope Diamond, its legendary blue color intact, its curse apparently following it across borders. Those who possessed it in Europe reported misfortune, bankruptcies, betrayals, and untimely deaths, lending credence to the legend. It is important to note that while some incidents may have been exaggerated or coincidental, the pattern of misfortune is remarkable enough that the diamond gained its ominous reputation in the collective imagination. The diamond entered the possession of the Hope family in the early 19th century, lending it the name by which it is now universally known. Henry Philip Hope, a prominent London banker and collector, acquired the gem, and it remained in his family for decades. Even within the Hope family, stories of misfortune began to circulate. Though Henry Philip himself lived a long life, other members of the family reportedly suffered financial losses and personal tragedies. The gem's reputation as cursed was cemented through word of mouth, travel across elite circles, and the publication of various accounts in newspapers and journals of the 19th century. In the early 20th century, the Hope Diamond crossed the Atlantic to the United States. It was acquired by jewelers and private collectors, including Evelyn Walsh McLean, a wealthy American socialite. McLean was known for her exuberant lifestyle and her fondness for extravagant purchases and for her misfortunes. Tragedy seemed to shadow her life. Her son died tragically. Her husband faced financial ruin, and many of her friends suffered untimely deaths. While skeptics attribute these events to coincidence, enthusiasts of the legend insist that the diamond's curse had followed it faithfully to the New World. The Hope Diamond's legend grew not just through tragedy, but also through intrigue. Journalists, historians, and jewelers alike recounted tales of its supposed supernatural influence. Some wrote of headaches, accidents, or unexplained misfortune affecting those who possessed or touched the gem. Despite the fearsome reputation, the Hope Diamond continued to fascinate collectors and historians alike. Its vivid color, unmatched clarity, and enormous size made it a jewel worth the risk, if, indeed, the curse was real. In the mid-20th century, Harry Winston, a famous American jeweler, acquired the diamond. He eventually donated it to the Smithsonian Institution in 1958, where it remains today. At the Smithsonian, the Hope Diamond became accessible to the public, Millions have gazed upon its deep blue facets, marveling at its beauty and imagining the centuries of history, wealth, and misfortune it has witnessed. Visitors often ask if the diamond's curse still holds. Of course, no one has been harmed under the watchful eye of the museum. Yet, the stories continue to capture the imagination of kings, thieves, bankers, and socialites who believed, perhaps too late, that a jewel could wield more than just beauty. The legend endures because it is rooted in human fascination, the combination of rarity, history, and mystery. A gemstone that is as much a story as it is a stone. The Hope Diamond teaches us that some objects are more than their physical form. They carry with them the weight of history, the superstition of cultures, and the fascination of countless generations. Whether cursed or simply a witness to misfortune, the diamond remains a symbol of humanity's desire to possess, to admire, and sometimes to fear that which is extraordinary. And perhaps the real lesson is not about curses or coincidence, but about the stories we attach to objects, how a single stone can carry centuries of human emotion, ambition, and legend. Next time you see a gem, whether dazzling or modest, consider this. Some stones are not just beautiful. They are vessels of history, of human greed, wonder, and perhaps a touch of danger. The Hope Diamond remains one of the world's most famous jewels, not merely for its color, clarity, or size, but for the stories that follow it, stories of kings, thieves, collectors, and a curse that continues to capture the imagination. Even in the quiet halls of a museum, far from the hands that once feared it,